But unfortunately, I snuck it out of the house and I ended up getting it stolen. I was about 13 or 14 years old when I... Hey guys, it's your boy Tristan and I'm back with another video. I hope all of you are having an amazing day and everything is going absolutely fantastic. So bear with me, this is going to be my first story time ever. And this is going to be a little bit of a funny story time. Maybe not for me, but for whoever's watching this. You guys will get a kick out of it. Story time is going to be about when I got my first phone stolen. And I was about 13 or 14 years old when I first got my phone stolen, and it wasn't even my phone. But basically what happened was my little brother, he was probably like 9 or 10 at the time. He had an iPhone 3 and it was my dad's. It was just given down to him and he was using it as an iPod. Had all of my dad's old photos, contacts, messages, music, literally everything on it, and it wasn't supposed to leave the house. But unfortunately, I snuck it out of the house and I ended up getting it stolen and it wasn't good. Ended up having to pay my brother like $200 for a little iPhone 3 in like 2011 or 2014. It is what it is. You steal property, you got to pay for it back. Basically, with what happened, I had no idea that my phone had even been stolen at the time. Probably took me about an hour to realize that my phone was gone. And I wasn't very big on technology back then, so I wasn't like constantly on my phone. I was also 14 and in grade 7, really paying attention to school at that point in my life. And I really didn't notice until probably closer to the end of the day, and I was like, oh no, I don't have my phone and I have to return it at the end of the night back to my brother. What am I gonna do? I tore apart my bag, I tore apart my binder, I tore apart my locker, literally trying to find this phone. Could not find this phone anywhere. And when I thought that maybe it could have been stolen, I didn't want to think that it could have been stolen, and true enough it was. I'd gone down on my lunch break at school to go and get some Subway, and I'd put my phone down on the counter, and I guess I didn't realize that I didn't pick it back up, and when I had turned around to walk out, I didn't grab it. So it was still sitting on the counter. Whether the person that was working the counter took it or someone came in right after me and took it, who knows, but they were never able to tell me or like let me know what happened to it. They just told me that they had nothing more that they could do other than look at the cameras, and for some reason it was never caught on camera. So I think that probably they did end up taking it. It was a little like crappy iPhone 3, so I hope you had fun with it. Shout out to you Subway workers. But honestly, I was terrified because I didn't know what to do. I was like freaking out. I knew that as soon as I got home, I was in trouble. I was going to get yelled at or something was going to blow up. And so me being the person that I am, I tried to hide it for a very long time, probably about a couple days. And then I finally ended up missing a phone call from my dad, and I was coming home after school one day and I was asked why I didn't answer it. And I had to come up with every excuse in the book to try and tell him that my phone was dead. Because at that point in time, I could not tell him that I had gotten that phone stolen because I wasn't even allowed to take it out of the house and it wasn't even mine. It was my brother's. So I had already had a phone prior to that, and it was a Samsung. I'll throw a picture up right here. It was like a Samsung like S1, like Galaxy 1. I'd gotten it handed down to me from my grandpa, so like it was like on its way out. So I genuinely like wanted to try and like switch SIM cards in the phone. So like that's what I did. And meanwhile, my dad didn't know that my phone was perfectly fine in my bag, thinking that it was just dead. So Then he gets me to pull my phone out. Well, I have my phone. That's perfectly fine. But it's not my phone that's the issue. It's the fact that I don't have the phone to return. The fact that I didn't have the phone to return, I was terrified. I remember my heart dropping into my chest, not knowing what my parents were gonna freak out about, because A, I already knew I wasn't supposed to have the phone. B, I knew that it was my brother's. And C, I wasn't even supposed to take it out of the house. So those three things right there were the biggest three factors of my life that made me terrified, because I thought I was gonna get in so much trouble. But moving on later to that day that they had found out that the phone was no longer around or even going to be around ever again, I remember getting grounded for so long. And so long, it was like 2 weeks in my room, no phone, no friends, nothing. So I definitely learned from the mistake of taking my phone down to the store and not double checking that I have everything before I leave. Because if I had done that, I guarantee that it wouldn't have come down to the fact that my phone was stolen, and I would have been able to return it that night. But it was just so much going on that you didn't know. And like, there was so much going on. Honestly, I don't remember what it was. I just know that I was with my friends and I wasn't paying attention. There was a lot going on. We were all trying to get back up to the school before we got caught. So like, we all didn't check any of our stuff. So really, we didn't know if we had anything. We just basically grabbed our shit and ran. Really, my lesson learned from all of this was to check that I have my things. And I've done it a couple times recently where I've left my phone just laying around and I was like, oh my God, I almost left it here. But it's true. And honestly, it's very, very true. I had to realize that there are lessons to be learned, and you never leave your phone unattended with some random strangers. Had I known that it was left with random strangers, I would never have left it down there. I would have never left it down there in the first place. But it happened, and I got in trouble, I got grounded, and bada bing, bada boom. And really, that's it for this story time, guys, because there's not much to really tell, but the fact that I got my phone stolen. Anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, a subscribe, and make sure to turn my post notifications on down below, as well as my social media platforms will be at the end of this video, as well as down below in this description box for some more videos that you guys want to see, and let me know what you want on my channel. Anyways, I hope you all have a lovely night, and I am out. Peace.